This video is sponsored by Skillshare. I got several pallets sitting around the house that I gotta get rid of, so let's try to make something nice out of it. As far as pallets go, this one doesn't look too bad, so I can't really complain. I'm just gonna try to find the best looking boards. I like that this one has some kind of straight grain, so you know, maybe some sort of thing, like I can cut them here, use some of this right here, where all this grain seems pretty straight. So let's start with those pieces. All right, I picked out a handful of the best looking boards, so let's go clean them up and see what we're working with. I jointed and planed the boards. So now I'm thinking maybe we can make some sort of storage. It's the holidays, right? We're gonna be going over to friends' house, families' houses. We're gonna have kids and grandkids, and we got toys and we got food, and we're gonna be carrying this stuff around. So let's carry it around in something nice. So I'm at the table saw, I'm gonna take my boards and basically just make a bunch of rails and stiles, and then we'll take it one step at a time. We'll see how that turns out, and then we'll go from there. I put a dado stack in the table saw, so I'm gonna cut a channel on the back side of each one of my pieces. That's gonna allow my rails and stiles to fit together. But also I have an aesthetic idea just floating around up here, and I'm gonna need that channel to try to pull that one off. Y'all know that I use a lot of woodworking templates, and I intend to make some templates for this project too. But that's why I'm excited about this class I'm taking over on Skillshare, the sponsor of today's video. Skillshare is an online platform that has creative classes taught by amazing world-class creatives like professional illustrators, renowned graphic designers, and successful entrepreneurs. I'm self-taught in graphic design, but I would like to get better at it. So I'm taking this class called Learn Cartoon Character Design for Animation. The teacher uses Inkscape, which I use all the time. I want to learn about how to make different character bodies in various poses and facial expressions. I'm hoping to use these skills so I can create better templates, better graphics, especially for my scroll saw projects. I really dig Skillshare's platform. You can do the lessons on your own, but you could also submit a project and actually get feedback from the teacher. That's pretty cool. I also really like their learning paths feature. These focus your creative journey by taking classes that build upon one another. When you get done, you can feel like you could take on the whole world. Maybe you want to make a new logo for your woodworking business, or take better photography, or learn marketing and business skills. Skillshare is designed to help you build creativity into your life by learning directly from real, super talented and successful creatives. The first 500 people to use my link down in the video description or scan the QR code will receive a 1-month free trial of Skillshare plus 20% off their first payment. Get started today. Thank you to Skillshare for sponsoring this video. Now I got to keep working on this project, and I got some templates to make. Okay, I cut the rails and stiles, so you can see they fit together kind of like this. So I'm gonna glue these pieces together, and while the glue is drying, I'm gonna figure out what I'm gonna do with that inside part, that cutout there. I think I got a pretty good idea. I glued together some boards to make the bottom panel for the storage bin. I went with the ugliest boards on the pallet because, well, it's the bottom of the storage bin, so it doesn't really matter. But I'm set off to the side for right now because I also cut some hardboard. These fit inside those cutouts on all 4 of the sides. And I have some burlap. So here's the plan. I'm gonna take the hardboard and I'm gonna glue it onto the burlap, or the burlap onto the hardboard. Either way you wanna look at it. I'm just gonna press fit them into place. I'm not gonna glue them in because I wanna be able to pop them out. What if I wanna use a different fabric or something? It's a different holiday. I wanna have something different on it. I can easily take these out, put something else in there, and I got a whole different look. I'm sure there are other ways to do this. I simply went with spray adhesive. I sprayed a thick coat onto the hardboard, made sure that I pressed the burlap down firmly, and then smoothed out any of the wrinkles. All right, I got the storage bin together. So I'm gonna take my pin nailer, I'm gonna nail these corners, reinforce these joints, and then the corners here, you're not gonna see it. All that stuff's gonna get covered up later. The nails are just holding it square so everything's flush. To actually strengthen it up, I got some dowels. So I've got a little dowel jig here I could clamp onto the side, and I just grabbed a piece of brass. This is just a shim, so I can make sure it's the right size I want, and also it protects the front of this. So I'm gonna clamp this jig on here, start drilling some holes, and then glue some dowels in place, this thing is gonna be rock solid. I want to cover up these corners so you don't see the dowels or the nail holes, but I also don't just want to stick like a board there. You know, we can make it look a little bit nicer. So I made a template that has a graceful curved leg. I'm going to take these with some spray adhesive, stick them onto a board, go over to the bandsaw and cut them out. I'll make sure I stay just on the outside of that line though, because what I plan to do is I take a couple of these pieces, stack them together with some double-sided tape, then I can sand them all at the same time using the spindle sander. I know I could have also stacked and cut them out together instead of cutting out each leg one at a time, but they're so small and easy to cut that it kind of seems like 6 in one hand, half a dozen in the other, really. This way also allowed me to take 2 pieces and stick them together so I can see a template on both sides. That way, whenever I'm sanding with the spindle sander, I can flip my workpiece over and I can make sure I'm sanding both sides evenly. There are 2 different size leg pieces, a narrow piece and a wide piece. When I glue them together, it makes an L. Then I can clamp those onto each corner of the storage bin that's gonna cover up the nails and the dowels. It's time to apply finish. Now, this wood is a little bit soft. I want to have some protection, so I'm gonna go with a film finish. In this case, I'm gonna use a wipe on poly. Probably apply 3-4 coats. Even though this is thin enough to be wiped on, I'm still gonna dilute it 50-50 with mineral spirits. I feel like it flows a little bit more smoothly across the surface and I get more even coverage from coat to coat. I use a thick shot paper towel that I fold over a few times and apply enough finish that I get an even coat, but not so thick that I get runs. For whatever reason with this project, I didn't have to sand between coats, but usually I do, and whenever I do that, I use 400 grit sandpaper. Not a bad looking storage bin, especially for a pallet. Now imagine if I would have used a higher end wood like walnut or cherry. It's gonna look even better, especially with that burlap. Speaking of burlap, I really like it. I also think this would look cool if the panels would have had some sort of funky, bright colored pattern instead of burlap. A small change like that can make a huge difference, especially when it comes down to just your personal preference. I'll try to put a link down in the video description if you want to download some plans, build this project yourself. And thank you to everyone over on Patreon for supporting me and supporting this channel. You guys rock. And tune in again, get in your shop and build something awesome.